Right guys, this is the last challenge, not long to go. The two human animal teams, okay, done amazingly. We've seen that. I think you've done amazingly. Everyone else is going to know you've done amazingly. And we know we're saying about 2 is 1, 1 is none. We got all these kind of acronyms of mathematics in survival. So through this challenge, so far, you've had several ways of making, what is it, shelter, fire, water, food. Several shelter options, haven't you? Yeah? Several food options?
Yeah.
Several water options?
Yeah.
Only one fire option. You only had one fast and you only had one of those. So if you lose that, it's definitely none, isn't it? You've got half an hour now. I want you to, without your fire stills, I'm going to come and collect them off you now. You've got half an hour, each team, to get a fire going without that fire still. Off you go now, 30 minutes. Right, first team, you seem to be over at your wood pile. You got any solutions? What's going to be your first choice to get a fire going?
A couple of things. I'm going to look at putting a bow drill set together. You say you've got some flint?
Yeah, I've got some, well, starting might be flint, might be similar stone, but it seems to give a spark off before, so I might be able to get a viable spark out of that.
Do you want to nip and get some thistle heads?
I can nip and get some thistle heads, yes.
Cool, okay. 29 minutes. See you soon.
Where did you get the thistle from? Right.
Fire, bow and drill and possible flint and steel. Right guys, so did you have any other, have you been working on, you have a fire, bow and drill set already? Have you been thinking about this?
We haven't worked on it yet.
Didn't consider that you might lose your fire still?
Yeah.
No? Okay. So what are you going to go for? What's your options?
Well, can you go and look for a piece of flint? I'll knock up a bow drill set.
Yeah,
we got two on the go then.
What's that?
We're going to go for bow drill, eh?
We got bow drill and then potentially firing flint and steel.
Okay, cool.
There's 3 of us, so we can get 2 methods going. As long as we got 1 tinder bundle and everything ready to go, whatever gets to that flame first, we can just crack on.
Cool. So what you got there, John?
A handful of bracken and I think some dogs.
You're going to make the tinder, eh? All right, excellent. I won't disturb you. Crack on then. I don't want you. Is that the drill then for your bow drill?
Yeah. I'll get a couple of pieces knocked up now, but there's a bit of spalting in it, but we might be right. I know it's nicely dead.
Okay, that's enough for what I need. That's it.
Right. Just put that away a second so I don't get anybody.
Yeah.
Right, put them on the cover.
Working away at that and just getting it soaked.
No. Just chuck us my jacket off there, and then I'll keep running for you.
What's it?
You chuck me my jacket, No, that's Ian's jacket, sorry. Mine's just on the top. So I'll get mine.
No.
There's some more of them. There you go, old heads.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll grab it in a second. You focus on that.
Have you got a bird's nest ready?
Huh? Yeah, he's doing stuff. I'll be
It's just
struggling.
easier, to be honest.
My camp's got about 10 minutes left.
Okay, so the Rudiger roll, using that cotton wool pad.
Yep.
Open it up. You want to lengthen the fibres a little bit, and then what you're going to do is get ash from the fire. So you want little bits of black charcoal and little bits of grey ash, and roll it. If this was your cotton wool, roll it the length of the cotton wool. Okay, so it's almost like a.
So that way round.
Yeah. And then roll it up.
Yeah.
And then just keep rolling it all the way up. Twist the ends in. And then you're going to put it flat. And you've got to roll first a couple of times in the direction you've been rolling it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once it's all bound together, just roll backwards and forwards, putting downward pressure on it.
Right.
And it'll start to smoke. So then you get that and you can blow that to an ember.
Right, I'll give
All
that
right.
a crack. So do we need a bird's nest? I take it we need a bird's nest
Yeah,
first.
but
So
we've
if
got
I
one bird's nest being prepared, so whoever gets the ember first, we'll use that.
I will start
Unless
on
Amy's got time to make 2 bird's nests.
I'm going to give it a go.
Cool. That's what it's about. That's what this whole challenge is about, isn't it? Giving it a go.
No, oh, you bugger. No, it's not there, don't worry. It's not there. I'm trying to keep off the wet ground, see?
You got it, Scott.
What are you doing there? Just getting off some moisture, sharpening it.
It's worn down and I got just as much friction there as there, so it gets really hard to push the bow. And I'm losing speed then, so...
The other guys are readjusting their kit. We'll go and see those in a minute. So what have you got there on the top for your block?
2 limpet shells that I found earlier on.
Cool.
Well, I found it at the beginning of the week.
Talk us what you're thinking, Ian.
At the minute I'm just warming it all up, just taking it nice and easy. As you can see, starting to get smoke, we just keep it steady. Just building heat up because this wood's still slightly, even though it's dead standing, it's still slightly damp, it's got a bit of moisture to it.
We've had a bit of rain, haven't we, recently?
Yeah, well, it's starting to rain a little bit again. So all I'm doing at the minute is just cooking this, getting the powder to form into the notch. So do us a favour, that straw, can you just straighten it all out, please? So it's in a nice straight line. Now the nest that you made,
Oh, the nest.
yeah, if that's cleavers, put that in with it, so straighten it out in a nice straight line and put the cleavers on top, please.
We're in a survival situation, still remember our manners, don't we?
Always.
Where there's smoke.
Nah, it's not always true.
And there you go. Snowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a hailstone's just landed straight on top of it as well.
Well, you did say he was finding it a bit relaxed. I did whistle, sorry. I done my snow whistle. I'll teach you how to call the weather one day, you guys.
Okay, so that, what does it say? A snowball's chance in hell?
Do you want to reposition? Get out of the snow.
No. So that squeaking is the moisture that's just gone into it. So if you listen, we should hear that start to change. And it should sound smoother.
You could almost do this in the dark, or the noise, you know.
Correct, yeah. Good training doing it blindfolded.
That's what they used to do in the Scouts for your knots.
Generating enough heat to get the worms out.
A bit more hailstone. Keeping the tinder dry under cover, are you, Amy?
Yeah. I'm ready to drive over with it.
No, it's gone again.
Maybe at first you don't succeed.
Yeah, just go again. So because I'm getting a lot of powder build up on top, I'm just going to make the notch a little bit wider. So the stick's not perfectly round, so I'm just trying to encourage it to be more round.
Makes it rock about, does it?
Yeah, that's right, you get an oscillation on it.
You there? That's
Okay.
over the half an hour now, okay?
Is it?
Yeah. It's 1:15, wasn't it?
Take
Yeah.
your word for it.
Going anyway a minute, but the other team's ready to go.
I
And
did wait for 10 minutes whilst you were over there.
okay, I'll give you 5 more minutes. You've come in under cover because of the snow and hailstones, have you?
Yeah, I had to. And also tighten my string too much.
5 minutes left then, alright guys? No pressure.
I've put a bit of stretch in the string, obviously, in the first attempt. I didn't want to start the next one on the
Yeah,
second string.
tell us what you think. It's very educational, this, for millions of people. Ready to go?
Yeah, let me just get these things ready. I'm only doing it down on this because obviously the ground is sopping wet. And I don't want to put my hearthboard straight down on the wet with just a little sliver of wood. There's a foot there straight away. I'm gonna have to move. There. I'm only wearing a glove because my bearing block is small and I don't want to burn my hand and have to stop, so remove the feather sticks for me, John. Bloody glove. For some reason that's really tight.
Adjusted it to make it a bit more round, a bit tight, did you say?
Yeah, I think. And you can go with this board. It's a bearing block. It's not dark enough. I'll leave it in there, almost through the board. Yeah. It's too tight. I can barely turn the bow. With not much calories in the system, definitely.
And with making it ad hoc, and maybe if you had a set beforehand.
Well, yeah, when you've got 4 days with, in between jobs, you can comfortably, when you firewood collecting and things like that, think, oh, that's a perfect piece.
Yeah. Thinking that evacuation, if you'd have dropped your fire still between you,
Yeah.
or you'd have left that, you'd have had to have done this days ago, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Hopefully, it still feels just as tight. Losing grip on this every time. Ah, you asshole. Stop a sec, I'm gonna have to do another one.
Yeah, so obviously energy levels are pretty low after a week out here.
Third attempt as well, that last one burn you?
Third time lucky, let's see what happens. This is why I always carry 2 lighters.
Same as me.
Gotta remember to breathe, I keep holding my breath.
Yeah. You know we say the rule of 3, 3 minutes, 3 days for water. We always say air's a given. The first thing, when stuff gets stressed, people, they stop breathing. seen people panicking out and you take them right, so you know what I mean? These infinities out for mate. To give them, but we forget to do it sometimes. Thinking in.
Breathe. I'm thinking breathe. Oh. Moisture's just sucking the life out of it again. No, it's died.
Good effort. I think from that we can take, we all had some other way before our fire boat. Instead of thinking we'd lost our fire stick, our fire still, we'd made that and we'd addressed that before, shelter, fire, water, food, and realised that we'd had only one way of lighting fire.
Yeah.
We'd have had that dry, because again, it's been raining. We've gone through a hurricane.
Yeah. It's not often, that's a little bit disappointing for me, because it's not often I fail at bow drill, but I'm just knackered.
It's not a failure. Anyway, that's it. Here's the teams. Let's go down to the cookery up and see how we all fared.
Oh.
Well done, guys.
Let's do it.
Right, guys, this is the end of the challenge, the human animal 5-day challenge. I couldn't have made it up. We've had a hurricane. We've had to evacuate the woods. It's been really, really, really more real than ever I could have dreamt of. These guys have done amazing. You've all seen how they've done. It's not been easy. I couldn't make it that easy for them. I had to try and make some scenarios that would keep them, pushing them forward as if they were in a real survival situation. They've done amazing. You've all seen how they've done. Throughout, it wasn't a competition between two teams, but what we had to do, failures started to happen and we had to record these, and then we said, right, 10 failures and it's a disqualification for a team, but we will give them an extra chance. Okay, and you've seen that, the team that done that earlier. Okay, this team at the end there, Scot, John and Seamus, they didn't get up to 10 points, okay, but this is about, it's easy to learn from watching this and learn about the stuff that went easy. You're really good at your job when you can do it when it's difficult. So it's the mistakes, not the mistakes, the things that we maybe never achieved or we could have done better that we should have, or we should concentrate on, I think, okay? So, not fails, we should say, or negatives, okay? For your team, guys. First rescue fail. When we did rescue, you never got to do it. And that's comparison as well with the other team. We've made it fair. So at a stage we think they should have got to it here by now and one team's done it, the other team would have got a negative point. Okay, does that make sense? No prep for evacuation. Okay, well forecast. I see these guys are well forecast that storm. You know, should be ready for bugging out. You should think shelter, fire, water, food, that we think. You know, luckily, I mean, Scott, he said let's grab the tarp. We need that. It's the most important thing, and you've got those knots undone. Which we were saying to you, what, you know, we were saying to you, look, slip knots on that, trying to give you suggestions, won't be all the way through, you know, and that would have allowed you a bit more time. I mean, you got every single bit of your kit out there, didn't you? Yeah. The challenge was that you had 1 minute, and you failed that within 1 minute. If it was really that bad, I gave you 5 minutes, and I gave these guys 5 minutes, okay? Table before food. What do you think that could have been? So John, he's made a table, he ain't got any food. I counted it, all of those steaks that he'd made his table out of, that could have made you a live capture pheasant pen trap. Yeah. Okay? So it's good to make tables and stuff, but it's prioritising. Okay, is that fair enough?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I said, I'm judge and jury, so I said to these guys, anything you think's unfair, you want to come back, and we'll see if you can argue it. If you come back with something, an argument that is more dangerous, you could get an extra point. So I'm not going to tell you how many you've got at the moment. No cooked food by the first day.
Yeah.
I give you that one piece of, you had one piece of cord, that was instant, that snare you made, it should have been out straight away. You had other bits of cord, probably you could have made more. And these guys, they cooked food the first day, they had their traps out, okay? So that's why you've got that down. If they didn't get it to the second day, you wouldn't have got a point off for that. Is that fair enough?
Yeah.
They cooked food, so I'm not very good at reading, as you know, I'm illiterate. Not sticking together, team member off on his own, shivering and cold. Okay, that was when one of your team members, you told me one of your team members has come down there, I asked you what thing says cold, you didn't know if there was anybody here, and basically in a real survival situation you've let one of your team members walk off cold. And if that had happened in an emergency, you should have radioed me to say about that.
Yeah.
Is that fair enough? Okay, so that was 5 for you. Okay. These guys, I told them about their collective fails earlier. They had one chance to redeem themselves. Okay, because they come up against 10 points, they then had to forfeit one item of kit going forwards. And if they collectively, there's a secret about it, they collectively all said mugs. So we were hoping, because you're keeping the kit if you succeeded, they'd all say mugs, but they didn't, and Amy had lost one mug. If they'd have said that, they would have had nothing for water. And then they said, well actually, because Amy did say mug, which meant they only had 2 mugs then, 2 is 1, 1 is none. So they said they could boil water in empty fire pot ration bag, which they showed us. And that's the only reason that whole team's not disqualified. Okay? But besides that, we also gave, if you thought something, if it was a safety issue, or something we say cheating using something that wasn't issued, and one person you only had 3 strikes as individuals. Okay? So, on this team, they well exceeded it. Due mostly to the action of Ian going back in, and I know he held his hands up for this. He's a big lad, you know what I mean, and he knew that was a mistake. He went back into the wood, okay, didn't tell his team where he was going. Could have cost his life and maybe the team going in, okay. First aid kit, that was you, nothing to do with your team. Going back into the wood was nothing to do with your team. Can't blame your team for that. They didn't know. And using the item of kit that you weren't supposed to use, the basher that you went back into the woods to get. Okay, that takes you 3 personal strikes for you. So although you've made it to the end of the challenge, okay, you don't get to keep the kit. Okay. Which I know you're not worried about anyway. Because I don't know if you know Ian, he is amazing. I mean, out of everybody here, his skills go far-reaching, but he makes woolen shirts. He makes his own woolen shirts. He's a master at making everything, and I know he's got everything he needs. And I know you probably think that is completely fair enough, won't you?
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Bit harsh. I think it's a bit harsh with the tarp being counted as 2.
No, we didn't count as 2.
Yeah,
So I said,
going into the woods to get it.
Going into the woods to get it was 1.
And then you
First aid kit was you, not disclosing your injury. Although that was included in that was still personal to you. I can't blame the rest of your team for that, whereas failure to prepare and everything, and using the tarp, safety, that's 3, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that cool? You understand now?
Yeah.
You all good? But, amazing, 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 all of you. I hope you've learned as much as I have. Because every day, I mean, I don't want to use these cheap throw-ins, but every day is a school day. And we can't plan the weather. And for me, survival is about the mindset, which I've made difficult for you. Keep the radio, making one of you stay awake all night. That starts to break down demographics, and that's what happens in real survival with life, don't we? You know, we're all adults. Okay? So, it's been amazing. I think it's been an absolute success. And like I say, you are very brave because you've put yourself up to be judged in front of your peers. And there's loads of people now watching this. You know what it's like, they put all the comments on saying, oh, I would have done this, I would have done that. No, If you've ever only done it when you're safe, you're well fed, and it's never done it in a survival situation, which is, you know, what is survival? 5 days in a hurricane with hardly any food, soaking wet. Yeah, it's not your comfort zone. So if you've never done it out of your comfort zone, it's not training, you don't know. Anyway, I think we should all give ourselves a round of applause. And if you want on the table, give yourself a round of applause. Anyway. Behind the camera, my crew, which I couldn't do it without, thanks very much. Thank you ever so much for watching. Stay tuned, more exciting challenges coming up soon. I'm Fraser Christian, these are the human animals. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.